Welcome everybody. I'm going to be walking you through how I did this look right here. I'm going to start by priming my lid with Too Faced Shadow Insurance. It's one of my favorite primers. I love it because it's perfect for oily lids because I feel like it helps keep it matte throughout the day. Just going to rub that in on both sides. And then I'm going to set that with a translucent powder. And then I'm going to go in with Jeffree Star's Androgyny palette, and the first color I used was Safe Word for my transition color. And I'm just using a fluffy Morphe brush to blend that out all over. And now I'm using a flat shadow brush, I believe it's from e.l.f. And I'm just using the color Swallow. Now I'm just using a clean fluffy brush and just blending that out. And then I'm going to go back in and build the color by using Military and then a green shade out of my Morphe 35B palette. Just going to keep blending. I want to get rid of all the harsh lines. And then I'm just going to go back and pat more Swallow onto the lid just because we want it to be really opaque. And now I'm just going to go and blend it outward. I really wanted to have a nice cat eye effect and be nice and sharp. So now I'm going to go in and use Anastassia's Moonchild palette and using Lucky Clover on the inner corners. And I'm using a Morphe M560 brush. I love that brush for my inner corner or my under eye because it's soft. I feel like a lot of pointed brushes, they kind of are stiff, so they poke and irritate my inner corner. Now I'm going in with a Urban Decay Heavy Metal Liner in the shade Spandex. And I'm just creating a nice thin wing. Well, actually, it kind of gets a little thick, but that's okay, honey. I want to make sure it's perfect. I was feeling myself. Now I'm just going back through, really making sure the whole wing has glitter. Because let me tell you something. Glitter runs my life. Now I'm going back in with another heavy metal glitter in the color Distortion. That one is a very pretty iridescent color, and I love it because depending on what background you put it on, it either looks really green or really blue and sometimes pink and purple. So it's very versatile. Now I'm just pulling off gently the glitter that is stuck to my lashes. Once again, I'm feeling myself. Singing to you, you can't even hear it. I look crazy. It's okay though. Now I'm just going back in with that Lucky Clover and just blending it out a little more onto my lid just to help give you a little more dimension and have it not look so, what's the word? Just so it looks a lot more blended. There we go. Now, I already have color corrected my face, and I love to use the Becca, I don't know what they're called, but it's the color corrector. It's like a really thin kind of like gel-like cream. And then I'm just going over that with my foundation, and I'm using the Anastassia Stick Foundation in Caramel. And I'm blending that out with my Real Technique blender. I love my blenders really wet. I feel like it gives me the best blend. I feel like it's harder to blend out that foundation if your blender is too dry. Now I'm going back in with concealer. I typically don't use concealer, but today I was like, you know what? Why not? Why not just step it up a notch and brighten my face with concealer? And then as the day went on, I remembered why I don't like using concealer in my under eye, and I prefer to just keep it simple and just use foundation and color correct. Because my eyes were cakey looking and creasy, even though I set them with translucent powder, which you just saw. I do love that concealer though, which is the Hard Candy Camouflage. It's really good for carving out your brows. Anyway, I'm setting my whole face with Laura Mercier's translucent powder. Just making sure I buff it in there. I get really oily in my T-zone, so I like to just take some translucent powder and set it exactly where you would to highlight the nose. It kind of helps me stay matte and then still give me a nice highlighted look without going in with concealer. And now I'm going to contour my nose. The brush I'm using is a brush that came in, I believe it's Urban Decay's Electric palette. I think. Maybe not. No. Maybe I don't know. It came with a palette, but I love that to contour my nose. I don't know what brush that is. It's Urban Decay. And now I'm going in to contour my cheekbones with Kat Von D's shade Light. The shade that I love the most to contour is Subconscious, and I'm using a Morphe M530 brush. That is my favorite contour brush. I also like to use shadow play a little bit too when I contour. I feel like it helps give me a little more dimension and blend out so I don't have too much of harsh line in my contour. And then I bring it down my jaw and then right underneath my chin where, I got a little extra going on. And now I'm going in with my blush. The blush I used was Tarte's Partey. It was for their birthday collection, and I'm using Morphe's MB4 brush. And then going back in with Lucky Charm to highlight, using a fan brush that I got for my birthday from my best friend from one of those unicorn collections. And that brush is wonderful. Now I'm just going to highlight the tip of my nose, and then my Cupid's bow, and then boom, we going to be on and popping. Now I'm going back in with that wonderful M560 brush just to kind of deepen my outer corner using Swallow. And then I'm going to go back in with Lucky Charm again, right in my lower corner of my eye. I want it to be blinding. And then I'm going back in with the Urban Decay heavy metal liner and distortion, just to give it a little more pop in my under eye area. Sometimes I don't know how to talk, guys. Now I'm going to go stick on some lashes, and I believe these are the Huda Beauty, either Scarlet or Farrah. I believe they're Scarlet, maybe Farrah. I don't remember. I can never find them when I go shopping for them, and I'm using the Duo Paint On Glue with Vitamins. So there's the finished look. I hope you liked it. Thumbs up, subscribe, you know the drill.